Hey everybody, it's Lori here. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to share with you the July My Monthly Hero Kit from Hero Arts. Check out this kit. We've got a stamp set, a die set, some glitter paper, several cubes of ink, and some embossing powder. All of these things combine to make a really cool under the water theme style card. First off, I have my Memory MISTI here. This is going to work the best to maneuver around the card that I'm making. I have half a sheet of 110-pound Neenah down, and I'm going to go ahead and go in with the multi-step stamping. So first I'm stamping this in a bright pink ink, and I'm taking the same image, moving the cardstock around so I can get that image on both sides. This is essentially going to be the inside of the cardstock. Inking it up again, adding another layer of ink. And now I'm going to take the cardstock and put it back the same way. You can do this in the regular size MISTI, but it's hard to fit those images in. I found that turning that cardstock in the large MISTI for this was the easiest route. So now I've got the second image, and we're going to go in and ink this with a teal ink. This is really easy to line up. When you get your kit, you'll see that there's just little things that you can look for, lining up the fish and just making sure everything's in place, and you'll get the perfect layered image every time. Now I am obviously inking this off camera because this MISTI is so big, so you can kind of see half of what's going on the left side of the screen there. Now we're going in with the third image. This one is kind of the color for the coral and a couple of the grasses and things like that are in the picture, and we're using a bright orange ink. As you can see, for all of these I do have a piece of acetate, and I lay the image down on the acetate and slide that around till it's perfectly in place, and that way I don't get any extra ink on my card base. So now I'm going to go in with Copics, and I've got this on super fast because you don't really want to see all this detail work. I'm not good at coloring, so I'm going in and I'm just almost adding a second layer of color. It just kind of adds a little bit of a pop. Definitely not going for any perfect blending or anything like that, but I'm just adding a little bit of red to those orange plants. And then I'm going to go in with a dark blue and add just a little bit of detail work to those teal plants. Giving the plants that extra little bit of detail, I think, really makes them pop. And it's not super hard work just because, like I said, I'm not a colorer, so I'm not great with all that blending. But just giving that second layer of color really kind of makes that scene really fun. The next thing I'm going to do to add a little bit more depth is go in with a dark purple ink, and as you can tell I didn't really finish that whole thing, but I didn't want to put you through all that. So I've got a blender brush and some darker purple ink, and I'm going to go around all the sides and the bottom edge of this card, and that really, just that one addition of color really adds a pop to this card. I always tap off first with the blender brush and then bring the color up onto the card, and that really gives a nice smooth finish to that additional color. So with the magic of the movies there, my card is finished, and I also have a third panel that I've cut out with the coordinating die. I did also create the card front with the stamped sentiment. The next thing we're going to do is do some misting of some white ink. So what I need here, I have a water bottle, my white ink, I have an acrylic block, and a paintbrush. I'm just dabbing a little bit of white ink there and some water, and putting down a test paper is my biggest tip. Check it out first, but just drag that paintbrush across the edge of your block and it will make a really fine mist. You can kind of see that there. Depending on how much water you use and the size of your brush will really make a difference in the size of the splatter that you get. So I'm just adding that splatter into the colored area just for a fun little white paint splatter detail. Next, I'm going to grab my Glitter Dust Silver Spray. This is just an aerosol glitter. It's my favorite. Adding that also into that colored area, and you can see it's just a nice shimmery look. I did score that also, by the way, right down the middle like you would a regular A2 size card. Now with the card front, I'm going in with just a very light teal color, just for a little bit of color change up, a little bit of blend, and then I'm going to add that die cut to the front. I did also die cut a piece of fun foam, so that is a really nice sturdy dimensional now, and I can add that right there around the sentiment. The next thing I'm going to do is add that same color over the top of that glittered area. It kind of gives it a fun textured look. It's still very smooth when you blend that ink in there, but it gives a little bit of a texture with that glitter already down. And the last thing we have to do is add our card front to the card base. So I'm going to use ATG, which is how I attach all my cards, and I'm going to add that in. And we're going to reattach it because I didn't get it perfect the first time. Alright, so now when you open the card, you have a full little seascape right inside, and it's so sparkly and so fun. Now, I did go in and add some little clear drops to the front just for a little extra detail, and when we get to that picture here in just a second, you'll see that I did also go in and add a few extra little fish and silhouette images from the stamp set. So that's it for today. I hope that you've enjoyed today's card. I'm so glad you came by. I hope that you'll take a second to like and subscribe, and definitely come back again soon. Have a great day.